Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting against Alexander Volkanovski for the second time this Saturday in Abu Dhabi for UFC 294. This happened out of nowhere. I haven't really been on social media all that much, and YouTube has been, I guess, my main source of information or my social media as of right now. The thumbnail came up and the title said, Charles Oliveira out, Alexander Volkanovski in, and I could not believe it. I was so looking forward to Islam Makhachev against Charles Oliveira for the second time just because I'm a huge Charles Oliveira fan. But when this got switched up, my mind went berserk. I decided to come down here. It's currently Tuesday, it's fight week, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. Maybe a prediction, is a very hard one to predict. Just my thoughts overall, but the whole situation about what's gonna happen on Saturday and what I'm really thinking. Islam won the first time against Alexander, and a lot of people thought it was a little bit controversial. A lot of people thought that Islam won. A lot of other people thought that Alexander won. To be honest, just to clear it out, my personal opinion, I thought that Islam Makhachev won. The first time that I saw the fight, when I saw that live, I thought Islam had won. The second day afterwards, I saw it again, I rewatched it, and I thought that Islam had won. So I was like, okay, I'm confirmed. Islam won that fight. And then just like a week ago, I watched the fight again, and again, I thought that Islam Makhachev had won that fight against Alexander Volkanovski that very first time. This time, on like 11 days short notice, they asked Alexander Volkanovski to step in because Charles Oliveira got an accident during a sparring session. He got a huge gash, a huge cut, like right here over his eyebrow. And well, he needed stitches, he needed to recover. He can't really be fighting with stitches in play. He already has a huge cut. If he gets opened up again in the fight, it's gonna get stopped. And nobody wants that fight to get stopped like that in that fashion. Instead of Charles Oliveira fighting, they asked Alexander Volkanovski to step in. Again, 10 days short notice, which could play a tremendous factor in this fight. I think I just saw that Alexander Volkanovski was weighing in at 181 pounds and has to drop down to 155 pounds in a span of 10 days. I don't know if that's a lot of weight for a guy like Alexander Volkanovski, but cutting weight regardless in that amount of time is never really healthy. He's gonna be dehydrated. I don't know if it's gonna play something in his performance. I don't know if he's gonna get tired faster. I don't know if his chin's gonna be weaker. I don't know. You know, there's just a whole bunch of things that comes from dehydration. I mean, you're literally killing yourself. That's just a big component to this whole algorithm of this fight right here. I don't know if that's gonna affect him. I hope it doesn't, but I won't be surprised if it does. Islam Makhachev knew that he had to fight this Saturday. Be who it be, he knew that he was supposed to fight this Saturday. Alexander Volkanovski wasn't. So for Alexander Volkanovski to even say, yeah, I want to take this fight, no biggie, let's do it, this is what I do, I'm stepping in. 10 days, who fucking cares? I'm gonna take care of it, I'm gonna handle it. Man, to do that against a guy like Islam Makhachev is insane. Like, you've got to have some cojones, because fuck. I don't know if Islam would do that, to be honest with you. They told him, hey, do you think you can step in for a fight? It's only 10 days. I don't think he would say yes, to be honest with you. I feel like he's a little bit more calculated. I know that he could be ready. They were saying that if King Kong can make 155 pounds, bring him to me. They're ready for anybody who, no matter who it may be, they're ready for her fight. Not only is Alexander Volkanovski gonna be a little bit more dehydrated because he has to make that cut last minute, we also have to think who's gonna be in Islam Makhachev's corner. Now, against Charles Oliveira, Islam against Charles Oliveira, Khabib was there. And you've seen the things that Khabib has been able to do by being in the corner of his fighters. I mean, there's this one viral clip or viral fight. Khabib is like directing Islam Makhachev to put his leg over his face to get that submission even tighter and solidify that win. And he does that and boom, straight to a victory. So having that IQ and that fighter and that coach right there in your corner is going to do crazy amounts of improvements when it comes to that time where you're actually in the octagon. Now, last time against Alexander Volkanovski and Islam Makhachev, Khabib was not there. Is he going to be in the corner of Islam Makhachev and directing and coaching him and making sure that he gets that victory? I don't know. I kind of hope he does. Because if he does, it's going to be a crazy fight. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how anyone can make a clear prediction besides, like, I guess, stats or something. But I don't want to get into, like, numbers or anything. If I'm looking at these two fighters and I'm going to predict who is going to win, I don't know. Literally, this is one of those fights that anything could happen. Now, if it was Charles Oliveira against Islam, I would have said, I think Islam's going to take it. But I won't be surprised if Charles Oliveira makes something happen and submits him or something. Or hits him in a good shot. Boom. Knocks him down and finishes him off. Literally anything can happen. Both of these guys are freaking tough. One is dehydrated, one is ready to perform, but not against that same opponent. It's just so many variables that have been switched and changed, and I don't know what to think. So if you were to ask me, Juan, who do you think is going to win this fight? My answer is, I have no fucking clue. I just know that we're in for a fight. I know that this fight right here is going to be some next level, Olympic level, best of the best, creme de la creme, masterclass performance that we're about to witness, and I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. I think Islam Makhachev is definitely going to go for the wrestling. He found some success when it came to taking Alexander Volkanovski down and holding him down enough to win the fight. Now, there was a lot of control time in that first fight for Islam Makhachev. You know, a lot of people like to discredit that, I would say. I don't know if that's the proper word to use, but I'm going to stick with that. They tried to discredit Islam Makhachev about saying like, oh, he didn't even do anything all fight. He just held him down. He wasn't throwing any damage. I mean, yeah, you can hold anybody down, but it's control. If the champion is able to hold you down and not let you get up and make you stay there this entire time, my perspective is that challenger wasn't ready to face that champion all the way, because look at him, he was just holding him down for I think 3 rounds, and the control time was way larger than Alexander Volkanovski's. It may not be all that much about damage. Sometimes it is about taking control. Just from being in that controlled position, it gives you that sense of dominance. At least that's what I saw. Okay, the champion is holding him down and not letting him move. Stay there. You're staying there. You're not moving. Stay there. Stay there. He's just holding him down, not letting him do anything. And you can see Alexander Volkanovski getting a little frustrated. He's like, fucking punching him in the back of the face, like this to the face. It depends on how you see the fight, I think. And I don't know exactly how the judges scored it, but I think Islam Makhachev won that fight just from taking control and being in that position as champion. You know, in order to beat the champion, you need to beat the champion. That's one of those things that I've heard countless amounts of times being said. And yeah, I agree. Like, if you want to beat that champion and show everyone that you beat that champion, you gotta be able to beat that champion and not have people second guessing like, did he beat him? I don't know. Maybe they need to run that one back. And here we are with them running that back. But on 10 days short notice, a weight cuts and in Abu Dhabi. Oh man, this is gonna be a very big challenge. One, for Islam Makhachev, because he has to go against the guy who everyone thinks he won/lost to, you know, that controversial decision. He's saying that he wants to finish this time. He wants to find that finish against Alexander Volkanovski. So if we see Alexander Volkanovski getting knocked out this Saturday, oh my god. If we see Islam Makhachev getting knocked out, I don't know what would give me a bigger reaction. I think seeing Alexander Volkanovski go down would be unimaginable. We've never seen it happen. You know, not in the UFC. We've never seen it happen. We've seen Islam Makhachev getting knocked out before. But Alexander Volkanovski, the #1 pound for pound, well, now it's John Jones, but the #1 pound for pound, going down like that? No, I don't know what to think. We're in for a fucking fight on Saturday. There's a lot of variables to this fight, but it's all leading to one certainty, 100% fact, that we're in for a great fight. In all reality, we don't know. It all happened so fast. It all switched up so fast. And it's a talk that we were going to have in the future, but it just came to us sooner rather than later. I don't think any of us were expecting this, but I'm glad it's happening. Charles, I hope you're recovering, man, because when you come back, I don't know who you're fighting. I don't know if you're fighting one of these two, but either way, after this fight, both of these fighters are going to be on a whole different level. I don't know how much Islam Makhachev has learned from fighting Alexander Volkanovski the last time, but I know that he's coming in with a different game plan, man. I know that he's coming in on a different level. Both of them are. Alexander Volkanovski lost against Islam, and then he went to go back to featherweight to fight Yair Rodriguez and beat him like almost flawless. I mean, he made the adjustment and ended up winning the fight very easily. And I was going for Yair Rodriguez. I thought that he could have taken it. I thought he could have thrown some kick that would have surprised Alexander Volkanovski. And I know that Alexander Volkanovski was thinking that same thing, that those kicks are freaking dangerous. I think anybody who looks at Yair Rodriguez would think those same things. We just saw that he was on a different level compared to Yair Rodriguez. Now, if you put a different fighter like Islam Makhachev in there, will that same difference still be there? I think both of these fighters are evolving. I think both of these fighters evolved after their last fight together. So for them to go back in the octagon, we're going to see some new stuff. It's going to be a lot faster. It's going to be, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a lot faster. I know them themselves are going to be a lot faster, but I don't know how the fight's going to play out. Maybe it's a little bit more slow, so that way Alexander Volkanovski doesn't get caught with those takedowns and get held down on the ground. Maybe Islam Makhachev knows the distance a little bit more and can catch him on those shots more often. Islam Makhachev caught Alexander Volkanovski like twice in the last fight, and he caught him good. I'm talking on one of them, Alexander took a knee. He has that power, but if he lands it more clean, and times it perfectly, I think he could take Alexander Volkanovski out. If I were to give a prediction on who I think is gonna win this fight on Saturday at UFC 295, Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski #2. And I don't feel 100% within myself to say that this is going to happen, but I think that Islam Makhachev is going to be taking it this Saturday against Alexander Volkanovski. Either by decision, right? We go to another decision. What if it ends in a draw? Could you imagine if it ends in a draw this time? And now it's like victory, draw, and now they have to run it back again? Yeah, I think Islam's going to take it. I think he'll control him a lot more time again on the floor. I think he's going to go for those takedowns. I think he could knock him out. I don't think he will, to be honest with you. I think if he does, it'll be a TKO. Like, he'll knock him down and then go and finish him on the floor. But I don't think he's going to completely, boom, straight knock him out. I do see that happening from Alexander Volkanovski, though. I do see Alexander Volkanovski being able to knock out Islam Makhachev and just being a lot faster, a lot clean with his punch. Like, very sharp, very critical, very technical. I don't know. If I'm going to give a prediction for this fight, I think I'm going to stick with Islam Makhachev. But I won't be surprised if Alexander Volkanovski blows the roof this Saturday.